Hi, I am in the heart of rural Cambodia.
Cambodia, home to 17 million people, but 2 million people go hungry and 40% of children experience chronic malnutrition. This struggle is not about the supply of food, it is access to food. We are Infinity Minds and we're presenting to you FoodNet.
Cambodia is a nation divided where urban cities are moving forward while rural communities are left behind. In fact, 79% of Cambodians live in rural areas where poverty rates are double, transportation is limited, and access to food markets is insufficient. Families here spend up to 70% of their income on rice, a staple lacking protein and key vitamins. In these villages, skipping meals isn't a choice, but an act of survival.
This is what survival sounds like. Her story is not rare across Cambodia, as millions go through the same.
Still, there is progress. Cambodia is striving for change through trade partnerships such as with ASEAN. The country exported millions of tons of rice to Vietnam in 2022 and 2023, which increased the national income and provided relief to many rural farmers. Looking ahead, Cambodia aims to diversify agricultural production by 2030, moving beyond just rice to strengthen their food security.
But the biggest challenge is not the availability of food, it is access to food. In rural regions, low income, infrastructure gaps, and isolation drive up food prices, leaving families hungry even when food is available.
That's where FoodNet comes in. FoodNet is an enhanced version of the current poverty line mapping tool that is used in Cambodia. Currently, the data is based on outdated surveys that are inaccurate and don't reflect the reality of life in rural Cambodia.
FoodNet changes that. It brings in a real-time, multi-source data to provide an accurate, up-to-date picture of food insecurity. Instead of relying on surveys, FoodNet uses remote sensing to monitor environmental changes. Using satellite technology, it detects reflected and emitted radiation to track weather patterns, droughts, floods, and vegetation health across Cambodia. This information is fed into a geographic information system to create detailed maps and identify where help is most urgently needed. Next, drone imagery assess transportation barriers, damaged infrastructure, and market access in disaster-prone areas. Crowdsourced platforms like Ushahidi let local citizens report food prices and access issues in real time, making the system more inclusive and current. FoodNet will also interpret multiple languages into Khmer, Cambodia's national language. Using natural language processing, it analyzes geotagged social media posts to detect signs of food-related distress, like sudden price hikes or local shortages. This ensures that every voice is heard, no matter where it comes from.
To deepen its insights, FoodNet will integrate from global databases like Biostats time series data to track the long-term inflation on food affordability. By triangulating data on income, food prices, and market distance, FoodNet will know exactly where help is needed. Its ability to compare standardized international data sets will also help policymakers in Cambodia learn from other successful programs in other similar nations.
Gift, the global individual food consumption tool that will allow FoodNet to uncover inequities in dietary access, such as how rural women consume lower calories than urban men, which highlights the disparities within and between communities. By incorporating local foods into the algorithm, such as the dominance of rice, will let FoodNet prioritize the food distribution that fits within the cultural and nutritional needs of Cambodia.
Infamous. the Global Food System Policy Tracker that will allow FoodNet to analyze government initiatives related to nutrition and food accessibility. Many Cambodians remain unaware of policy changes, and this feature will help raise public awareness.
However, these databases often come with limitations. For example, GIFT often lacks the data on individuals experiencing chronic hunger, which then skews representation. On the other hand, Philostat often overestimates food consumption by including food waste. Furthermore, Informis uses household-level data, missing intra-household inequities. For example, a household may seem stable, but still have unequal food accessibility among members.
That is why FoodNet matters. By combining satellite imagery, drone footage, crowdsourced data, and language analysis, we get a real-time, people-centered view on food insecurity. This is not just about statistics, it is a live experience of Cambodians. This tool will also help the government have targeted food policies and also monitor the impact through citizen feedback. Organizations like UNICEF and WFP will know the hot zones through AI, knowing the places with social distress, damaged infrastructure, and high food prices.
So, we've seen this work before by imagery, which is a digital agriculture platform in Malaysia that was launched by the Ministry of Agriculture. Like FoodNet, it uses drone data, satellite monitoring, and reports from citizens that are used to then help farmers in need and fight food shortages. But FoodNet goes even further than that. FoodNet focuses on removing language barriers, having good language access, inclusivity, and making sure of equity across all urban and rural areas.
To bring FoodNet to life, we built a clear, cost-effective 3-year plan with a total budget of $500,000.
Here is our journey over the next 3 years.
In year 1, we will begin to lay the foundation for FoodNet. We will partner with global databases like Philostat, GIFT, and Informis to access standardized data on food systems. Then, local non-government organizations will help us to launch drone surveys in areas that are hard to reach, such as rural, isolated areas. We'll train 120 local data collectors, such as volunteers and community leaders, to raise awareness and collect data on the local food access, market conditions, and household food consumption. Nationwide, we'll begin public engagement campaigns through radios, posters, and local news outlets. 2, we'll test what we've built. We'll launch FoodNet in 6 communities, 3 rural and 3 urban. Our goal is a 75% accuracy in detecting food price changes, road blockages, and weather impacts with weekly updates. We'll also hold stakeholder workshops to gather feedback and refine the system. In year 3, FoodNet will expand nationwide in partnership with Cambodia's APRU system, allowing us to target the most vulnerable families in real time. We aim for 85% prediction accuracy in our datasets and a 90% user satisfaction. We'll hold policy integration workshops with government ministries and development agencies and launch a nationwide awareness campaign.
So, our 3-year budget is as follows. For year 1 for FoodNet, we plan on doing such as, which includes AI development and data integration, which is $90,000, satellite and drone tools, which will be $35,000, and lastly, community training and engagement, which is $30,000. 3 main components, which will total up to $155,000. Then for year 2, we plan on doing 3 main things again, which include app development and testing, which is $60,000, expanded drone and satellite coverage, which is $30,000, and lastly, stakeholder workshops, which is $20,000. So our total for year 2 will be $110,000. And then for year 3, our budget includes integration and capacity building, which would be $45,000, national app media campaign, which would be $60,000, and lastly, maintenance and future planning would be $25,000. So for year 3, our total would be $130,000.
That brings our total to $395,000 with a $105,000 buffer, which we will use for emergency scale-ups, unexpected tech needs, and future investments. For the price of building one highway, Cambodia gets a chance to end hunger. Ministers, the plan is ready, the costs are low, and with your help, FoodNet can reshape Cambodia's food security.
FoodNet is the way to go. It is the net to our future.